over.
It'll trigger a prompt that you go up to say, do you want to open this window?
Well, if it's in my pocket and then the pocket brushes it, and then could that happen?
I don't know.
Don't think so.
I think what he's asking is, would I have an application already open to receive this transmitter, or would it happen while nothing else is open on the phone?
It would happen while nothing else is open on the phone.
Yeah.
There would be very little user interface because when you put the receiver onto your phone, which iPhone is making cases with receivers on them, I would imagine that I actually haven't looked far enough into it, but there's some sort of app where you set it up and it's just always on, kind of like Bluetooth.
Okay.
So it's something that picks up on this transmitter. And it's a passive transmitter, by the way, so it doesn't require any energy. It just requires your phone's energy. So.
And about safety and security, I think that's one of the things that the FCC, Congress, or people in Washington, they're going to start looking at this kind of thing more and more and really getting into the hows and the whys and the do's and the don'ts. And we may have to wait for them to kind of play catch up a little bit to industry and research before we can really get some of the answers to some of those questions.
Okay. Tell them about their presentation.
So here's my feedback on the things that I think went really well. So you were using the clipboard to hold your notes. That actually was a real effective way to do it. I didn't, when the last presenter was using their notes, I was trying to figure out a better way to do it. And quite honestly, I wasn't quite sure what the most effective way would be. But the clipboard works really well. So, kudos on that. Some other positives, so the demonstrations were really nice. That interactive element where you had an audience member come up was even better. Hopefully they knew that in advance. But I think, kind of getting the audience to interact off their feet, that kind of thing was really nice. So adding that interactive element was really good. The demonstration of the QR codes, holding your smartphone up, it was nice with the YouTube example. I mean, the only negative on that was that, I couldn't really see your phone, but that's mostly because I think the camera's positioned, so I couldn't really see that very well. One tip to get around that we actually did, because we did a demo, a couple of demos with our presentation with the team. We ahead of time told everyone to download a QR code app, and we kind of gave them a suggestion of which app they could download, and said, have your smartphone ready if you want to interact, as part of the presentation. So that's just the way that we handled it, but it certainly was a challenge on that, and it's something that you could keep in mind going forward. Let's see. The information on the transmitters and the receivers was very good. So I could tell you both had a very strong knowledge of the material. You've done a lot of research. You knew what you were talking about, had a lot of good data, good examples you brought into it. It had the cutting edge. I think the relevance, because I think I just saw a commercial the other night where they were demonstrating, I think it was a Droid, or maybe it was a Samsung, I can't remember which type of phone, but they were demonstrating that, and I was thinking, that's cool, what the heck is that? And then you guys just talked about it right now. So it's very timely, updated, relevant information that you guys were covering. So, excellent work there, and it's definitely something that we'll be taking a look at.
We have a bibliography with the websites where we got some of this information that we will provide you
Awesome.
with. Yes.
Great. I kind of touched on some of the areas that, I talked a little bit about, it was a little hard to see the phone, so I touched on a few of the areas that you might want to keep in mind going forward. I would say that the slides probably did not do your presentation justice, and all I mean by that is it was a really interesting topic. The slides were, they were very clean, which is good, and I definitely think you want to err on the side of, clean professional slides, but I kind of, it was multimedia and animation. I kind of wanted a little bit more visuals on some of the slides, a little bit more, snazz, I guess, to them. So that's just something you might want to keep in mind. Depending on what content you're talking about, you might want to dress up or dress down your slides to kind of match the content of your material. So just something to keep in mind going forward.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Good job. Okay, Meredith, well, thank you again for all of the hard work you have put in on behalf of the group. They appreciate it, and they're all looking forward to meeting you next week. I will be back in touch, of course, so we can talk about the presentations and all of that good stuff. And we did record them, and we have them on our scratch drive, so I'll be able to send you copies. That way you can pull out the material you think you want to use for your work. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
thanks again. Everybody say goodnight,
Good night.
Thank you.
and I will
Thank
talk to you
you.
Bye.
soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
I appreciate all your hard work. Great work. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right.